present. So we just wanted to introduce Gabby for those of you who do not know her. And let me tell you a little bit about Gabby. We love Gabby, and every time I see Gabby, I'm like, hug. I bow down to Gabby. And if you know her and you know her work ethic, you would understand and like why we speak about her this way. I mean, this girl, if you speak to her sister, she would tell you, what business center doesn't this girl work and make it happen? And if you speak to her sister, she would tell you she runs my business center, her business center, my mom's business center, her husband's business center. She runs all of them, and all of them are working. So we call her the closer because she makes shit happen. That's why we call her the closer. Gabby is a 7-star qualifying diamond in her first business center. She is a Success Club legend. That means she's have more than 24 months consecutively hitting Success Club. And in Beachbody eyes, you're a legend when you are consecutive with your Success Club points. She's Success Club 10, not even 5. She is a New York City marketing consul. So she's the one, aside from other members of the council, who help with the training, with the events that go on in the city, getting people together, talking to Beachbody and the corporate team so we can make stuff happen for, our team here in the city. But aside from that, her team was 2015 elite, which means for our newer coaches that she helped her team become leaders, and then they came on 2015 to become an elite team, which that's huge. But aside from that, wait a minute, there's more. There's more on Gabby. Aside from her being a 7-star qualifying on her first business center, she's also a 1-star on her second business center, because once you get a certain point with Beachbody, they give you a second business center. So she's also a 1-star. And my favorite, she's a God lover. So Gabby, we are so grateful. Thank you. Melissa and I were just talking about it this morning, and we thank you for jumping on our call and, giving us your thoughts and ideas and helping us out, especially now, which is the end of the month. I'll hand you the floor, baby cakes.
Thank you. I hope my computer doesn't crash, number one. Another thing you guys should know about me is that I'm a mommy and a wife.
Of course. Like I'm missing something.
But when I share my screen, you'll see that I also love to have all my tabs open, and this always crashes my computer. So I hope I don't crash yours. So anyway, thank you so much for having me on the call. I appreciate it. And it's an honor to be here to share, the things that I do in my business. And I hope that it helps yours as well. So the first thing before I share my screen, I just want to reiterate, and I think that you guys might either roll your eyes or say really again, but it is really what has moved my business center, my business centers, mine and my second one and my husband's, and just, allowed me to be where I am today, which is the 4 vital behaviors, like legit. Like I can get off the Zoom and tell you that I basically told you the secret to this business. If you are doing the 4 vital behaviors, then there's no reason why you should be struggling with Success Club. If you do all 4 legitimately on a consistent basis, you will hit Success Club. So as leaders, we know who is struggling with the 4 vitals because, you're not achieving Success Club. So we also know, and I know that for my coaches, if they can hit Success Club 2, they can hit 4, and they can hit 6, and they can hit 10 and beyond. The issue is that if they only hit 2, is because they're not doing the vitals consistently. So if you were able to close 1 person, that means that you have the skills to close 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. But the problem is that you don't have enough people to talk to because you're not, following the 4 vitals. And I'll repeat the 4 vitals just because I don't know. I don't recognize some of the names. So I just want to make sure that you guys are familiar with the 4 vitals. I'm sure you are because you're working with Lenny and Melissa. So the first one obviously is invite, right? If you're doing that on a consistent basis and you're following the Power Hour, and especially the Power Hour that Melissa and Melanie you do on a daily basis. If you follow that one, there's no reason why you guys should not be hitting Success Club, right? Because you're inviting, you're following up, you're adding to your network, you are making deposits, which is, giving value back to people and love and all that greatness. The second one is being proof the product works, right? So you don't have to have 6 packs, but you definitely have to be showing improvement and progress in your own transformation so that people can relate to you, so people can find you inspiring and motivating, and so that people can jump on board and say, you know what, I believe what she's doing because I see it every single day or every single passing week or month. There is some sort of improvement in her life, and I can see it. So definitely being proof the product works. And then personal development is one of the most important ones, because if you're doubting yourself or if you are going out into the world to work, right? Our world is very negative. So you definitely need to cleanse yourself from all of the negativity. And also you need to be able to feed and strengthen your mind, because just the way you strengthen your body to work this business, you have to strengthen your mind. You have to strengthen that important muscle. And then finally is our last and newest vital behavior, which is the recognition piece. And that goes with, making deposits on a daily basis and giving love back to your team, to your challengers, to the people around you. It doesn't have to stay contained in your Beachbody world. It can be outside of your world, because, I'm a huge believer that if you are giving, you are going to receive, right? That's one of the laws in the Bible. So those are the 4 vitals. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to cross my fingers that it doesn't freeze. And this is actually let me see if I can open it first so that I'm not rambling here. But so this is a presentation I actually did for Team Eagle, and then I actually did it in Spanish on the Spanish Team Beachbody page. We're sharing. Please tell me if you can see my screen. Can you see it?
Not yet. Yes. Now
okay, cool. All right, so, oh wait. I am also challenged when it comes to technology. Hang on. Is it view I have to give? View? No. Review? Slideshow.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, cool. So I'm going to take you through my invitation process, which is basically what I do with all of my prospects, whether it's a coach prospect or whether it's a challenger prospect. I promise you that this is exactly what I do. And please ask questions in between or at the end, doesn't matter. So the first thing I do, guys, is I pray. I pray because I want to make sure that, and this is not in my slides, whatever. But I do pray. I pray that God gives me the people that I need to help on a daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis. And I believe that that is actually one of the most powerful reasons why I am able to achieve my goals on a monthly basis, because I ask Him to put the right people in my path so that I can, give them or help them with what it is that they need. I believe it or not, I'm an introvert. I'm a social introvert, what you call a social introvert. So I only connect really well, or at first, with people that I do know, right? I get chatty, I can talk a lot. And but if I don't know you, I feel a little uncomfortable. So I do feel sometimes a little uneasy when I am talking to people that I don't know. And many times I am talking to people that I don't know, because I've been doing this for 2.5 months at the end of this month, and 2.5 years, excuse me, at the end of this month. And so I talk to a lot of people I don't know, referrals or people I've met on the internet. And so I pray that, that I am able to serve them. So that's the first tip that I'm going to give you. So you're going to be peeling the layers back through an interview process. So just always think of that when you are speaking to somebody, because you are going to be asking tons of questions. That's what the interview process is about. It's about asking the right questions at the right time. And then once you ask them, you are just listening. I remember listening to a call with Melissa one time, and I remember her saying something along the lines of, you ask and then she covered her mouth, right? And that's what you do. You have to like literally listen. And if you're not a good listener, what I would recommend is that you pick up a pen and, notebook and write down the answer, because you are going to have to go back to these. All right. So when someone sends you a question about, let's say that you posted a call to action, or let's say that you sent out, when you're doing your power hour, you're doing personal invitations, private invitations, and someone responds to you or someone hits you up because they saw a call to action, and they're asking you right away, what does it entail? Or I'm interested, how much does it cost, right? Right away, guys, start the interview process. Do not stop to give them any information about your group, about the price. The first thing you're going to say is something along the lines of, hey, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm excited that you're interested. And the first question is, what interests you about my invitation, whether that was on the internet or a private one, all right? So never, ever, ever respond with information. You're going to begin the interview process right away. If they ask you price related, like I said, you start the interview process. There are some people who, are very persistent and might say, yeah, but how much does it cost? So you are going to gracefully tell them that there is an investment. However, you don't know how much it's going to cost, because it is all based on their needs and their goals. And so you need to ask a few questions so that you're able to meet that need for them. It's their specific need that you're meeting. And then once you know what it is that they're looking for, you'll be able to tell them. And you can even say something along the lines of, I need to actually ask you some questions to see if this is even a fit for you. And the minute you say something like that, what happens, in our mind or our brain is, whoa, there's a possibility that this is not for me, right? Why not? I want to learn more. So that's the first one. You're going to ask them what it is that piqued their interest. So what piqued your interest? The second question is, what have you tried already? Right? Because many times people are trying something right now that's not working, or something that maybe is kind of working, but if they're reaching out to you, it's because it's not 100% working, right? Because they still need some sort of help. And so you're going to ask them, what have you tried already? Third question is, what's working for you? So they might tell you, that they're doing Zumba, but Melissa is a good example here, that she became a coach because she knew that she wanted to capture more than just her classroom, and that she can help them outside of the classroom. So maybe they're not eating well, right, outside, and they're just coming to classes maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and you want to help them outside of that. So, what's working for you right now? That's the third one. The fourth one is, what's not working for you? So we want to know what is and what isn't. All right. So what's working for you is the third. The fourth one is what's not working for you. The fifth one is, how's your nutrition? Is that a strength or a weakness? How's your nutrition? Is that a strength or your weakness? So again, this is where you're just listening. You're just going to let them tell you. Many of us struggle with nutrition, and 80% of our results come comes from that. So we want to make sure that we are definitely listening to, what their struggles are in that area. So the sixth question is, do you struggle with cravings? What type? What type of cravings? And the funny part here is that, many people struggle with sugar cravings or carb cravings, and that's also sugars, right? And this is where we want to jump at them and be like, oh my God, we have Shakeology and this is going to change the world and you need to get on it, right? No, this is not the opportunity. This is not the time for you to do that. You do not want to product vomit right now. So what you want to do is you want to just take a note. Ooh, sugar cravings, right? They struggle with that. Cool. I got them covered. And you write a big circle and you put Shakeology, sugar cravings, right? So you have the solution for them. So then you continue on with the seventh question, which is, do you have any injuries? Because this is important, because if someone is, I don't know, their knees are hurting them, for example, or they have a back problem, and here here we have maybe Insanity Max 30 on sale, or something nuts, right? That is on sale for $140, and you just want to make sure that you connect someone with a challenge pack. Now you've just basically connected them with a program that they're going to fail miserably, because they can't jump, because their knees are going to kill them, their back is going to kill them. And so you just set them up for failure. So we want to make sure that we are connecting them with a soulmate program. So that's why it's important to ask the right questions, so make sure that you are asking if they have any injuries or anything of that sort. Eighth question is, what kind of exercise do you like? What kind of exercise do you enjoy? And what kind of exercise do you despise? Same scenario, right? Let's say that size is on sale, right? And that Lenny here is also size certified, and she's like, she loves size, so she gonna be like, size is the best thing ever, right? Because she loves to teach it, she's great at it, but then somebody hates to dance, or someone just feels like that's just not their thing, and she, you're gonna love this program, and she didn't listen to anything that they had to say, and then they get it, they put the DVD in, and they're like, what? Like, I don't even dance, same scenario. So we want to make sure that we find out what exercises they're into, what exercises they're not into. All right. So the ninth question is, tell me a little about your nutrition. All right. I spent a lot of time on this. So it kind of goes back to question 5. This is your question number 9. Tell me a little about your nutrition. This is where you find out details. Walk me through a usual day in your nutrition, life. So start me off from breakfast all the way to dinner. And then this is where they're going to tell you, if they work outside the home, you're going to listen to everything they say, and then you're going to ask them something along the lines of, hey, you said that for lunch you have, I don't know, a salad or whatever every day. Do you buy that salad or do you bring it in from home? The majority of the people are spending money buying food out. And if they work in the city or anywhere in the, tri-state area, or even not here in the tri-state area, it's expensive. They're spending at least $10 on lunch. And in the city, at least $20 a day, right? Because I used to work in the city and I know it's expensive. So that is basically something where you know that you can utilize that to, when they give you that price objection, like, hey, well, this is what I do. I throw it back at them. All right, so you tell me you are spending $10 a day eating out? Because I asked them, so does that mean you eat out? How much you spend? $10 a day. Okay, so is it fair enough to say that you spend, $50 a week? And let them say, agree with you. Yep. All right. So fair enough to say that's $200 a month. And there you just save them $60 with a challenge pack, right? So you're putting money back into their pocket. So that's why it's important to ask the right questions. Besides, the person who's asking all the questions is the person who's controlling that conversation, right? So, all right. So make sure you spend a lot of time. And number 9, 10, why do you want to lose weight? This is where you start to connect emotionally with the reason they reached out to you. Many times, and this is why it's important that you peel the layers back through this interview process, because remember that many times people are going to just give you a very superficial reason. Oh, I want to look good in a bathing suit, or I want to look good in a 2-piece, or whatever, right? Very superficial. So you know that's a superficial reason. So you want to make sure that you are connecting them to a deep reason, that something that is going to make them put that DVD in every single day, drink that shake, make better choices, meal prep and all of that greatness. So make sure that you are asking the right questions. And if they tell you that, it's fine. You're going to validate that. Okay, awesome. You want to, your 40th birthday's coming and you want to look good in a bathing suit or in that dress. Why is that? Why is that you want to look great in that dress on your 40th birthday? It's deeper than that dress, right? And then when you feel that they've opened up to you, that's when you definitely continue to the next question. So if you're having a hard time there, the following question is, when you look yourself in the mirror right now, what do you see in return? When you look yourself in the mirror right now, what do you see in return? At first, when I first asked that, I felt a little odd, but I promise you that is what's going to allow them to share with them how it is that they really, really do feel inside. Many times they're going to tell you that they don't feel confident. Many times they're going to tell you that they don't feel, sexy, that they feel, embarrassed, to be intimate with their spouse or whatever it is that they're going to tell you. So they really go, they really truly open up when you ask them that. It's a direct question as to how they are feeling. But you never want to leave someone in a negative place, right? Because our job as coaches is to give them hope and to bring them back to a positive place. And so the next question is, what do you want to see in the mirror? What do you want to see in the mirror, ideally, when you look, the person that's looking back at you, right? And then you're creating that hope, as I said, and that excitement that they can definitely achieve whatever it is that they see or foresee in the future. All right. So make sure that you ask that question, that you don't leave them in a negative place. You bring them to that positive hope place. All right. All right. So the last question that you can ask is, if they had that financial question at the beginning, you could always ask, why is this a financial priority right now? Because you had already told them that there was an investment involved. And that way they're aware that, all right, there's there's going to be some sort of money involved here. All right. So those are the questions I typically ask in my interview process. So now can you tell me how long I have so that I can run through these very quickly?
I can't see the time on my...
It's 10.
30 more minutes.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So so you guys are very familiar with form, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and message. So we're going to remember to form and we're going to remember to sign. A lot of us have never seen sign: strength, interest, goals, and needs. So if you don't know how to answer all of these about this person, it's not time to present the close, right? It's not time to present that question of, do you want to join my challenge group? So if you don't know any of these yet from that person, then you want to keep digging. You want to keep asking questions. But so make sure that before you present them with the question or with the message, that whether they're married, whether they have kids. You want to know what type of occupation, whether they have a busy schedule, whether they're leaving their house at 5 a.m. and they're returning at 7. What is it that they enjoy as recreation? You want to know what their strengths are. And you're going to find all these things out when you're interviewing them. What are their interests? What are their goals? And what are their needs? If you don't know any of these, then go back and make sure that you're asking the right questions to make sure that you know these so that then you can deliver the message. All right. Get them on a yes roll. Great closers ask a lot of questions. The more you get your potential client or coach saying yes while you talk to them, the more likely they'll say yes when you close. So, for example, once you've gotten all the details and their needs and their goals, things, for example, like, okay, so you want to lose 30 pounds by December 31st because you're going to, your first family, or you're throwing the first family, whatever holiday, party. Yes. All right. Did you tell me that you only have 30 minutes, a day to work out? Yes. Did you tell me that you love chocolate? Yes. Right. You just want to get them to continue to say yes, so that when you deliver that message, they're already saying yes, 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 yes. And then they'll say yes. More likely than not, they'll say yes. Empathize. If you don't know the true root of their pain, it's not time to present or close. You got to keep digging. Avoid verbally vomiting any kind of info at all costs. And this is what we were talking about, the Shakeology piece, that, we get so excited. And guys, don't think that I never vomited, because I love the Beachbody programs. But the more you get, people, the other thing that I suggest is that you get people on the phone. That's just me. Some of you might just do it, via private message, and that's perfectly fine. You might do it via email. That's perfectly fine. But whatever your method is, make sure you're not, product vomiting. We get so excited about our products that we believe so much in them that we end up vomiting. We want to save the world, and we just don't know when is the right timing. You'll be able to talk about what it is that, Shakeology does and what program changed your life and all that greatness. But it is important to know that we are not supposed to be, vomiting. So make sure that you're listening more, and that, you're just asking a lot of questions, but just definitely listening more. All right. All right. So trust. Build bridges and be relatable. People do business with people they like and trust, period. So how do you build? This is no script. We can't give you scripts. Melissa can't give you script. Aleni can't give you scripts on this. You have to just listen to what they're saying to you. So for example, if I'm talking to a mommy and she tells me that, she has a son who's 3 years old, boom, I have just built a bridge, and there's something that, that is relatable to us. My son is also 3 years old. Oh my God, my son is also 3. And then boom, now all of a sudden there's a connection between us, and she feels that she can trust me because we share something in common. If it's someone who is not a mommy, and maybe even someone that, I don't know, that's not even married, right? Then I'm wondering, I got to listen very carefully to see what it is that this girl is going to say to me that I can connect with, that she can find me relatable. So maybe it can be that, she went to the same college I went to, or I don't know, that she has curly hair. Whatever it is, I have to listen very carefully so that I can build that connection and that trust, because people do business with people they like and people they trust. All right. So there's no script here. You just got to be very, very organic. Share stories. Stories sell, right? So connect with them by sharing success stories that they can relate to, so they can see that someone like them has already been successful with this opportunity. So same scenario that I was telling you before. So people facts tell, stories sell, right? So doesn't matter that you tell them, all the features of a program, or all the superfoods that exist in Shakeology. If you don't connect them to a story that makes them feel that they're going to succeed too, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to join your challenge group. So you have to collect stories all the time. You have a lot of team members, in your team, and it's important that you have stories in your back pocket at all times so that you can pull it out. I always, for example, use my sister's story, right? She is a, a guidance counselor, and she loves her kids. She's a high school guidance counselor, but she's not married. She doesn't have kids. So whenever I speak to someone that doesn't have kids and has a very successful career, I bring up my sister. Oh, she works crazy hours. She even works on the weekends sometimes, right? And she's successful when she commits to a challenge group, when she commits to herself. So you have to always have, success stories. It can be a male challenger. It can be your husband, right? It can be yourself, whoever, your upline, your teammate. Don't matter, collect stories. Learn a few new stories. Always have a success story in your back pocket to share. Screenshot and pictures of testimonials add extra social proof. I always do that. So when I feel that someone's a little hesitant, I'll be like, girl, I know, because I've been there. Let me share a story with you. Let me share this before and after. And boom, I'll send them a before and after of someone that has a similar story to theirs. Obviously, you always have to ask permission to share those. Like if you've shared it on your social media, I'm sure you can share it on private message, right? But this is really important so that people can see that it's real. Use their name. It elicits positive emotion and reaction, and it establishes connection. It really is. Sometimes I get on the phone and I'm like, because again, I told you guys, I speak to a lot of people that I don't know. And sometimes it might just be a referral that I didn't even connect with them on Facebook. If I know them on Facebook, I'll know. And then I'll be like, oh, and I'm bad with names. So I literally have to write it down before I start my conversation, because I want to repeat their name, because otherwise I'll forget. And then I'll be like, what was their name again? So you don't want to do that. You don't want to find yourself in that very uncomfortable situation. All right. Now it's time to close. Based off the info they had already given you, it's time to make a strong recommendation. All right. So you are the leader. You are the coach. So you are the one that's recommending. One thing that a lot of coaches do is that they will send them all the challenge packs that are on sale. Pick one. No. Because then all you're doing is confusing this individual. They're coming to you because they're already confused, because they already don't know what to do. And so they're trusting you that you are going to direct them in the right, in the right direction, to recommend something that's going to help them, that's really going to make them get results this time around. So make sure that you're just making one, maybe even two, so that they can feel like that they made that decision. But you always want to bring it back to, all right, based on what you said to me, you wanted to do X, Y, and Z. And because you said this, I'm recommending these programs because of X, Y, and Z. All right. So assume that they're going to say yes, and use words like, when you enroll, you'll want to do X, Y, and Z. You must believe. So what I typically like to do is, I always say things like, oh my God, I cannot wait to see your transformation in 21 days. You are going to look amazing, right? So that they can start to see, they visualize, all right? And especially if they said they wanted to get into a dress or whatever, they're already visualizing themselves in that red dress or in that two-piece or whatever it is, right? So make sure that you believe for them so that they can start believing for themselves. Do not squirm when you talk about price, guys. You pull the price objection right out of them. And that's why I was telling you before, it's important to know how much money they're spending on a weekly and monthly basis so that you can use that against them when they tell you, I can't afford that. And then you can say, hey, I remember you said that you're spending, right, $50 a week. That's $200. I'm saving you, because in reality, all you're doing is you're buying 30 meals ahead of time with Shakeology. So now you're not going to be buying junk food, but you're going to be putting a delicious, nutrient dense shake in your system, as opposed to getting all that junk that you told me you get for lunch. So definitely believe in the value, because a lot of coaches are so scared to say that it costs $130 to, for a bag of Shakeology, or $140. I literally tell them right off the bat, because many people, you have to disarm them. I say things like, I know $130 might sound expensive on your end, but let me tell you why it's not expensive. And then I break it down. It literally costs like $4.25, whatever it is, $4.33 for a shake. That's less than a Starbucks drink that's full of sugar, or that's less than the lunch you told me you're spending, right, that you're buying every day. So you make sure that you let them know that it's not expensive, because if you find it expensive, trust me, they're feeling that on their end. All right. Be sincere. People can tell if you're just trying to get them to buy something. So make sure that you're being genuine, that, at the end of the day, it's not about Success Club. Yes, Success Club will move your business forward. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're serving, that you're helping meet a need and a goal for that person. All right. So never argue. Agree with their objections. The objections isn't about you, so don't take it personal. So when you come into a conversation, don't come in expecting a sell. Just come in expecting that you're going to help that person meet a need, all right, or a desire or a want. It has nothing to do with you. So, which is why it's important for you to be talking to a lot of people and inviting a lot of people, because if this person is not ready right now mentally, it won't even faze you. But if you were counting on that person to hit Success Club, you are going to take it personal. So don't argue with them. You obviously, you always want to validate where they're coming from, because at some point or another, you must have felt a certain way. Not everybody, was willing to sign up or signed up right away. Some people, will do it on the spot. Some people will take a week. Some people will take a month. Some people will take a year. I have people coming around now, and I've been coaching for 2.5 years, and they've been following my journey since then. Sometimes they just want to see that what you're saying is real. All right. So use the feel, felt, found method. So don't be disappointed with a no. All right. So remember, it's not about you. Just detach yourself from the outcome always. All right. Kiss them. Keep it simple, silly. So if you give them, that's what I was saying, if you give them too much info, right, to think about, you're going to hear them say, I have to think about it. That's why it's important to I always give them one. That's just me. But I do have coaches that, love to give two so that they can feel like they made that decision. My thought is they came to me for a reason, because they want my help, because they know that I can help them, and they believe in me enough to know that I'm going to point them in the right direction. So I give them one choice. This is the best one for you, and they go for it. All right. So for a customer, so I only share videos if the person says to me, I got to, speak to my husband or my spouse or whatever, just because sometimes they do really need to speak to their spouse, because maybe they're a stay-at-home mom and, they feel a certain way spending $140 outside of their budget, right? So we have to be respectful of that. So I leave them with information so that they don't forget, so that if they need to share it with their spouse, they have. So I typically don't share if they're going to buy on the spot, or this person says, I'm ready to buy right now. I don't need to share anything. But if, if you have to follow up with them, then definitely send them maybe the workout video and also the Shakeology video so that they can share. And you can say things like, I'm going to send you two videos so that you can review once again what we discussed. And also if you need to show your spouse, you have, information readily available. All right. Then let them know that there's limited spots available. So you have to create urgency. So I always say, I'm only taking 10 people on my next challenge group. I already have 5. So I want to hold a spot for you. Do you want me to hold the spot for you? right? And then let them agree or disagree with that. So make sure that they know that that being in your group is special, because you're special. Your group is valuable, and you get to pick the people you want in it. All right. So they have to earn a spot. So for a potential coach, get on the phone. I mean, I always recommend phone for customer or coach. So once you've sent a third party video to them, which can be the video that that Beachbody has, or it can be maybe a call that Lenny and Melissa have, a third party, maybe like the opportunity call that they've done. So if someone is interested in the coaching opportunity, you send them that. And then you make a date, right? You make you schedule a call, and then you get them on the phone, and make sure that they've watched the video before you get them on that call. So the person, remember that the person that asks the questions control the conversation. Don't let them start asking all the questions. You always have to regain the conversation. Like, let's say, because some people might get on the phone and be like, I have 100 questions, because they really do. But you wanna make sure that you take control of that conversation. Position yourself as a 15-star diamond or CEO. Confidence is attractive. People don't care if you know everything. They follow you as long as you're confident. Your confidence is in the direction you're headed, right? So make sure that you are positioning yourself as such. You are someone of value to them. Do not beg or try to convince people into anything. We can't beg. We can't convince people, which is why, again, you can't depend on 3 people, talking to 3 people a month, because a lot of people say, oh, I got 3 people who committed to me already. And things happen, guys. They really might want to join you, but maybe something happened, an emergency happened, and now you've lost one of your people, which is why it's important that you're talking to several people, right? And it's the 10% factor that I always talk about. If you want to close one person, you have to be talking to at least 10 people. All right, so these are some of the interview questions for a potential coach. I'll go through these very, very quickly. All right, so what did you like best about what you watch? Can you tell me more about that? Dig deeper into their answer if necessary. So here, this one, you want to ask them what they like best, because sometimes after they watch a third-party video, they might have so many questions, and because that's just the nature of our mind, we might be focusing on the bad things. So you want to right away switch that and be like, what did you like best? So that the conversation, you turned it around to the positive. Are you already working? What kind of jobs have you done in the past? Find relatable strength that could be applied to the business. So maybe if someone says, I am an administrative assistant, and I keep calendars together for, 4 VPs, blah, blah, blah. You can say, oh my God, so that means that you're super organized, and, your strengths are being organized, and maybe even time management to keep 4 people's calendars, in check. And those are amazing strengths to have for coaching because of X, Y, and Z, right? Are you self-motivated? Because you do not want to be motivating anyone. You want to be working with someone that motivates themselves, someone that will keep themselves accountable, someone that you do not need to beg to do, a workout, someone that you do not have to beg to buy Shakeology, someone that you do not need to beg to stay active, and someone who you do not need to beg to do the trainings. So what do you want to get out of this business? Enough to cover the products, or are you looking for more concrete income? What for? Same thing. Why? So that you know. How much time a week could you commit to the business? And tell me why you should earn a spot as a coach on, and then just plug in your team name here. All right. Again, position yourself. You're interviewing them as well, just like a job interview. And then you're going to assume the close, and you're going to walk them through the sign up. This is obviously the Coach mobile app. Go for no. So remember, detach yourself from the outcome. It's not about you. It's about them. They came to you, obviously, for a reason. 80% of the time, you should be spending peeling the layers. You should be interviewing them. If you're getting a ton of no's, it's because you're not spending enough time during this process. Remember, forming and signing are your friends. On an average, 1 to 10 people will say yes. It takes about 3 months to build your funnel before people start really consistently spitting out the yes, which means that you cannot work this business on what's today, the 27th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th to hit Success Club, because you're doing yourself a disservice, because now you are rambling trying to get 3 people, but you didn't fill your funnel, and now you're going to do the same thing next month. And then you're all exhausted because, you know, you're like trying to like close 3 people the last 3 months. And besides, think about it this way. If you only showed up 4 days out of the whole month to your job, would you still be employed? I don't think so. So always work from a list. If you don't have a list, you're not in business. This is a relationship business, which means that you better have a list to be inviting from. You cannot run out of people to invite. Keep track of the people you talk to. The fortune is in the follow-up. Create an interest list on Facebook or potential coaches and potential customers. If you don't know what an interest list is, I'm sure Melissa and Darlene know, and ask them after the call. Stay connected with them as friends. I really quickly have someone who, a lot of my people come around like 6 months later, 1 month, you know, one year later. I actually have someone who just signed up for the health bet, and she was pregnant. So prior to being pregnant, she wasn't pregnant. She had one daughter. And, you know, we became friends on Facebook, and we used to talk all the time, and she like lives in the boonies and like Alabama somewhere. And, you know, she had a home business of making babies' clothes and all this stuff. And we connected, blah, blah, blah. And she's a runner, and she's like, you know, I run in the fields here. And I'm like, okay, in the fields, literally. So, you know, I invited her to a challenge group, but she wasn't ready, which is fine. Then she became pregnant, and I would check up on her, like, how is she doing? You know, what are you having? Are you having another girl? Are you having a boy? You know, when are you due? And I would just randomly check up on her to make sure that, you know, it wasn't about Beachbody. I wanted to know about her life. And then when she was ready, she joined my challenge group. And it took me over 1.5 years for her to join. It's about building relationship, guys. Always be willing to offer something for free advice, time, or resources, like a free meal plan. Be their go-to person when they are ready. Make sure that they're coming to you when they are ready. So if they say, no, I just can't afford it right now, you know, you can always say, hey, you can save up for it. And then can I check up on you next month, right? Or put them in a motivational group that you are running, just so that they know that you are bringing value into their life, so that when they become ready, they certainly know they can come to you. And then never cross someone off your list until they have signed up, ever. Because a no just means, sorry, Matthias just woke up. No means not right now. Hi, puppy. Sorry, guys. And then, oh, that's it. Matthias came at the right time. Let me unshare this.
No.
Okay, puppy. Okay, Emma. All right.
That's being a mommy, girl. Don't worry about it.
He went to sleep at 8 today. It's a good boy. And then he just woke up. So anyway, that's it. Any questions?
Gabby, that was amazing, 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 all in capital letters.
Thank you. I hope it helped you guys.
Does anyone have any questions for Gabby? Anything that you are feeling? We're all team and family here, so no question is a silly question.
Just a quick question, Gabby, because I know you got to get back to Matthias. The form and the sign, should you use that like interchangeably? Should they be used together? Or, you know, that sort of thing? Because that is the first time I've seen the sign acronym, and I'm sure many others as well. Because they were always pushing form, but the other one seems to be from like the emotional piece of it, like the emotional engagement. So
yeah, I think that you can find out their sign as you're forming them, right? Because you're asking them things about their family and about the recreation and about about what it is that they do on a daily basis. So you're really getting to know them. And so as you get to, ask all these questions about their lives and make sure that they have the time to work out or prepare their meals and all of that, you're going to find out what their strengths are. You're going to find out what their needs are, right? What their goals are. So you're going to find out all of those. So if you don't know any of that while you're talking to them, you have to go back and ask more questions. You have to go back and inform them more.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Then we have Margaret. Do you spend a lot of time relationship building on the phone?
So so many times a lot of people do a lot of flirting. I don't flirt per se, like on social media, like on Facebook that everybody will see. Like I'm not one of those people. I do more relationship, like either behind the scenes, like I told you that story with my challenger. I just kept messaging her, like, how's it going? How are you feeling? Just being interested in her, because how can people be interested in you if you don't show any interest in them? So just really being interested in her and her life and her kids and, her pregnancy and all of that. And then on the phone, so let's say it's someone that I don't know, that I haven't been forming, behind the scenes, then I definitely ask, I do that a lot. Like at the beginning, I form them, like I'm asking the questions, and they might not be in the order that I, ran them through you, that I discussed them with you, but I definitely plug them in as necessary. But I'm like in there finding out about their lives. I'm forming them. So yeah, I'm definitely building relationships. I'm building, I'm making sure that I'm breaking the walls, because a lot of people are coming to you from having tried many things, and they might not even know that this is right for them. So it's important that you make them feel comfortable, and that you make them feel that, that you have the solution for them. So the only way that they're going to trust you is if they find something, relatable to you, and that, because if you're just like at a coach, because typically what I do is if someone's having problems like closing, I'll get on the phone with them and I'll say, I'll do the first call, and you listen and you take notes. And then the next time I'll get on the phone and I'm going to listen, and then I'm going to critique you. Right. And this coach was like asking questions as if she was interviewing someone, like straight up HR. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Because think about it. How many times have you gone to an interview, right? You're already nervous. Like I worked in HR. My background is HR. And so I know people I know people are definitely already nervous to go to an interview, even if they're confident about their skill sets. It's nerve-wracking, someone's grilling you, and especially if you need the job, right? And you're good for it, you're just nervous already. So if somebody's coming at you, like, I don't know, like if they're a policeman and they're like, boom, 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 they're not going to feel at ease, and they're not going to trust you, and they're not going to go with you. So it has to be a conversation, like you're having a conversation with your friend.
Mm-hmm. Margaret did that because she's in HR too.
I figured.
Then we have Ronalda. She says, reinforces the Video and Luminous Nation website. It does. Like a lot of the content here, like Gabby put it together, Melissa, and a lot of the leaders. So if you still haven't checked Luminous Nation website, everything is on there. But Ronaldo wanted to know, Gabby, because she's an introvert, how do you overcome and build your business? I'm no good at sales and hate rejection. And Melissa gave her PT. What PT do you do?
All right, so I'm going to talk about to build business. Okay, I'm not a salesperson either. My husband is in sales. He's been in sales for over 20 plus years. And I would always, because I'm in HR, like Margaret, and that's a lot of, people position kind of interaction. So I would always say to him, like, how do you do sales? Like, ooh, like you have to have like a tough skin for that, right? Because you have to always be nice, and you always, the customer's always right. I remember one time he was on the phone, because he works from home some days. This is like I was still working in HR, and there was a doctor who was being like a bee, like straight up. And Jorge, if you met my husband, he's very laid back. He's very relaxed. He's like, nothing phases that guy. And he is just a jokester, and homegirl was going in on him. And I was just like, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, if that was me, I would have probably gone off on her, right? This is me before PD. So I was like seriously, he got off the phone, and I was like, wow. I'm like, I admire you even more now, because I don't know that I could have, like, I could hear her through his headphone. Like, it was that bad. I was like, whoa, right? So I'm definitely not in sales, because remember, we're not selling anything. We're sharing stories. We're sharing how Beachbody changed our lives, how Beachbody changed the lives of our challengers, of our coaches. So you're just sharing, share. The minute you feel like you're selling is probably because you are. So take a step back and share a story. That's what you should be doing.
And we have many stories too from our team that even if you, Ronaldo, don't have your transformation yet because you haven't hit that milestone, that's when you use your team and, to your advantage. Mm-hmm. Like, cholesterol saved my life because of Shakeology. Look at Gabby when she was pregnant with Matias, her transformation 12 months. We're going to see Melissa's when she gives birth to baby H. So you have so many of your teammates that you could get stories from. And if you go on our team page, you will see them on the transformation section.
Yeah. And typically we, isn't there like a post in somewhere, one of the teams and then people put their stories next to it too?
Yeah. In Luminous Nation, a lot of the transformations have their story.
Okay, cool.
Or even you guys, when you see today is Transformation Tuesday, if you love a picture, like let's say you love Gabby's, and you'll be like, wow, what product did you do? She quickly, even when I'm asked, I give a little quick snapshot. Oh my goodness, that was after my second baby. I lost 50 pounds doing Turbo Fire the first 90 days. Mm-hmm. So, every single team member in your team is willing to help each other out. So if you don't ask, it's because either you're afraid and you shouldn't be, because get out of your comfort zone. And two, we're all here to help one another because together we achieve more.
Yes, agree. And then the introvert part, I promise you I'm an introvert. So it's funny because when I talk to people, they'll say to me, you're no introvert. And that's only because, once I get comfortable, I tell the girls, I'm like, oh my God, tell me to shut up, because I like talk and talk and talk and talk, but that's just because I feel comfortable. But when I went to the New Leader Conference in 2015, last year, I think there was like 4 of us from Team Eagle, either 4 or 5 of us. And I was like dying that I had to go there by myself. But when I found out that there was some people from Team Eagle going, I was like, yes, I had never met them either. But you see how, because we're a team and we're coming from the same team, it feels comforting, and it feels like I don't know them, but we're from the same team, so we got each other, right? And it was definitely that we had each other. So, we met beforehand and we were like, all right, we're going to go change. And, we had like the reception thing. And I was like, all right, so text me when you guys are ready, because I was not going to be the first one down there. So everybody was like, yep, we're coming down. So I came down. I was the freaking first one down there. And I was so mad because I was like, what am I going to do now? So I was like, all right, I'm going to go get a drink. So I go to the bar. There's nobody at the bar. And I'm like, you kidding me? Like, not besides the bartender. And I'm like, I was hoping I would have to wait a little bit, kill some time. No, I got my drink right away. So I was like, really? So I'm like, what do I do now? And there's people talking. I could have just walked up to people and be like, hey, I'm from New York. Where you from, right? No, not me. I'm an introvert. So I was dying. Right, that's that Lenny right there. I was dying inside. I was like, what am I going to do? These girls, where are they? And I'm like texting them. They're like, we're coming. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you guys said you were ready, right? And so I started to text Jorge, and then I just called them instead. And he said, Gab, where are you? And he's like, shouldn't you be at your, cocktail reception thing? He's like, are you being weird? He's like, go talk to people. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I feel so weird, But that's besides the point. The point is that you got to definitely do more PD so that you can just, like that Lenny just said, you have to put yourself, outside your comfort zone, because that's the only way that you are going to grow in this business. I hated talking to people on the phone. I forced myself to do it. I used to close everybody on PM. So now, or the text. So now, maybe, I don't know, maybe like a few months in, I was like, someone, I don't know who, someone said, you got to get on the phone. And I said, all right, this person is successful. This person, knows what she's talking about, or he's talking about. I don't remember who said it, to be honest with you. And I said, I'm going to try it. And I did. Was I nervous? Yeah, I was nervous. But because I believe in this business from day one, and I know that it has potential, and I see other coaches achieving great success. And so you just got to do what your successful coaches, tell you, your mentors and your uplines. If they've been doing this and they're successful, then more likely than not, they've fallen on their face and they've tried many things, and they're telling you and they're sharing the things that work, so that they're saving you time from failing the way they have. So so that I just went ahead and did it. Was I nervous? Yeah. I had butterflies, and I was probably saying the wrong stuff, and I was probably vomiting. And then I would get off and I would evaluate the call and say, next time I'm not going to say that. Next time I'm going to listen, and I'm not going to share the Shakeology story before they, they tell me a little bit more, because you can evaluate, whether you were too aggressive, whether you said too much, whether you said too little. You can evaluate, but you'll never be able to evaluate if you didn't put yourself out there. So definitely scary, but doable.
Yeah. That was amazing, Gabby. Thank you so, so much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? I think everyone else is good.
Any other questions? We good?
You guys good?
You're welcome. If you guys have any other questions, you can either private message me or ask through Darlene.
Or go to luminousnation.com.
I'll go to Google FAQ.
Oh, who said that? Go to Gary Vaynerchuk. When in doubt, GOOGLE.
Right.
That and FAQs. The FAQs have everything.
I'm telling you, it's on Luminous Nation. Go to FAQs on luminousnation.com. It takes you straight into the FAQ on Team Beachbody.
You can literally Google anything and put Beachbody at the end, and the first thing that comes up is an FAQ for it.
Yeah. But it is true, you guys, what Gabby said. If there's top coaches that are introverts, and they are, Anita Myron is an introvert, and the girl just hit the Millionaires Club. So it could happen. A lot of PD was helped. I know Audrey's an introvert, and she will tell you firsthand, she does PD every single day. It's like a non-negotiable for her. Mm-hmm. So just what you need. You just need to consistently do it.
Birgitta Limford is an introvert. Scotty Habs. So if you watch videos from them, when they did like their first, speeches, like in front of team, Super Saturdays or whatever, you can literally see them like shaking. Like I probably.
Like Gabby was when she went up on stage.
When I was shaking my first time speaking. And yeah, you could tell, and then you could see the progress because of all the PD, because of all the times that they put themselves out there. Like talking in public for me is not easy. It doesn't come natural to me. But the more and more I do it, the more practice you get, the more comfortable you get. Do I still get butterflies? Yeah, absolutely. But it's good butterflies, right? But before I was like losing sleep over it. But if I never just said, freak it, let me just do it, then I would not be where I am today. So definitely just put yourself out there more. And remember, if they say no, so what? They're not ready. It has nothing. If you're doing everything I said on this call, it has nothing to do with you. It's just that mentally they're not ready. But if you continue doing your 4 vitals, then they're going to come to you the next time they feel that they're completely ready to move forward.
Because you're legit.
All right.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good
Have a great rest of the week, everyone. Gabby.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.